Hello everybody and welcome back to your Game 3 Decider. It's first departure up against MVP Hot6 here in the Summit 3. It's begun. Today was day one of our, well, preliminary qualifiers. We've got the SCA one going on today. This is what our bracket looked like at the start of today. These teams, it's not all the teams playing in SCA. This is just to get into the main SCA region. We've got NVIDIA Aces who triumphed over Rex Regum Keon in a 2-1 close series, and this series also incredibly close. We've gone to a Game 3 here. First departure taking Game 1. MVP Hot6 struck back in Game 2, and Game 3 coming up soon. And then tomorrow we'll go into Nateet Gaming up against Signature Trust, also known as Myth Trust, and then Arcanus going to be going up against Execration. So those two series going down tomorrow. Then the day after that, we go on to our semifinals. The winners of the semifinals through to the main one. There's no finals. Two teams will qualify to the main SCA division. So that's what's going on here. Well, looking at the big picture, looking at right now, this game is Game 3, the decider. One team will be going home, one team will be moving on to the next round where they will meet NVIDIA Aces. And I got to say, all these teams looking pretty even and on par with one another, so interested to see which teams will join the big names in your Raves, your MVP Phoenixes, your CSW in the main SCA division. But right now, I'm going to have our Game 3 draft underway. It was first pick going the way of MVP Hot6. Went for the Skywrath Mage of all heroes. And then it was a Tide Lion for first departure into Enigma for Heen here. This is the new MVP roster. For those of you just tuning in, kind of unfamiliar, MVP Phoenix recently going kind of under a bit of a reshuffle here. So two players, Heen as well as Forev, kind of got moved down to the MVP Hot6 squad. Heen currently drafting under the name of QO, the God of Disease. I'm not sure if that's some shots fired at QO or if it's just some inside joke. Maybe that's not actually a salty message, but definitely the appearance is like, okay, he got moved down out of the main team and now he's a bit upset. Yeah, that's at least the vibe I get, but completely out of the loop. May just be something, a harmless joke where everyone's in it. Everyone's laughing except me here at the BTS studio. But the main MVP Phoenix team will be in the Phase 2. The main SCA division is going to now be playing with Febby as well as K Phoenix, formerly of CSW and some former kind of big-name Australian teams. So we're going to see those teams later on. But right now it's MVP Hot6 with their new roster. They've got Dubu, Baton, and Lost to round things off here. And it's going to be a Queen of Pain, third pick for first departure. Not the first departure you guys maybe know and remember. No Pelusin, no Miracle, probably the big name that's missing that most people will know and probably miss. But he is playing. He's also in the main SCA division, playing under the team name of 5EVER, which is kind of like a merger of some of the different name players from Insidious Idol as well as First Departure. So Miracle joined up with some of those guys. I want to say Pelusin's on that team. I can't recall for sure. That match is... I can't actually recall their exact roster. Let me see. They actually beat Invasion 2-0 today, apparently. That's, Pelusin, Miracle, Chibix, Ysera, and KS. That, to me, is a very promising team. Obviously, the same can be said for First Departure, and they've proven they were a promising team, just never really got to that big LAN event to show it, as they did have issues getting to the previous summit, unfortunately. Hopefully something we won't run into again, but we're kind of planning things further in advance here, and that's where look to make sure all these teams can attend should they qualify. And looking at these two teams, Slack going to be the third pick for MVP, so there's likely your hero for Forev. And we'll see your two supports in the Enigma Skywrath. So haven't revealed their offlaner, their mid hero. I know they'll be most likely up against the Queen of Pain in the mid lane. For first departure, they're looking at their farmer, another support, and for now they're going to get the Sand King. This is something I know Vici Gaming like to do a lot, although EG denied it from them in the DAC finals, which is pick a hero like a Sand King because you know Enigma's going to be in the jungle, kind of looking to be greedy and farm, and you can do a similar thing with Sand King, where you're unlikely to get contested, unlikely to get pressured in the jungle. You can fairly safely get your level 3. You don't have to worry about pesky dual lanes. It's going to be an Omni Knight of all heroes. Oh, wow. That's something different and new. Repel Slack. Who needs BKB when you've got the free Repel and no Diffusal buyers just yet for first departure? So they're probably thinking, what carry did we have in mind? Can he buy Diffusal? If not, are there any other carries that can buy Diffusal right now that can do us just as well? because that is a consideration to make for first departure. Now they're up against the Omni Knight, which looks like it could be an offlane Omni Knight. The Skyreth's like in the safe lane and get some kind of a mid lane as your last pick. Omni, not exactly great against Queen of Pain. Just get right-click down too much. The Shadow Strike Harass is going to be a bit too much to deal with, so I feel like this is going to be your offlaner. We'll see what the mid hero is going to be. I feel like that's where you look at like a secondary core to go with the slack. You've got an Omni Knight who's kind of team-oriented utility hero. That's where you need a Shadow Fiend type hero, which is obviously banned out in the first stage, a TA, even something like your... I mean, Puck is less kind of snowbally. I don't know what... I think the TA kind of works nice. I think of other kind of big, high-impact snowbally mid-heroes. Pop and SF, two of the big ones that come to mind. Viper was your last band. Kind of a hero that MVP historically have run quite a bit of and do like to play around. We'll see what the last pick's going to be. For those of you wondering, I see some comments. Why aren't these games in the Dota client? Unfortunately, the ticket and compendium and all that jazz has not been added just yet. So it's going to hopefully come, I think, in the upcoming patch, which is maybe in the next day or two. Don't know for sure on that one. That's up to Valve, but hopefully stuff gets added soon. The games are free to watch in Dota TV, though. So if you can go onto the community tab, find the teams on the community tab, you can then click the watch game off of them, I believe, in the community tab if you can find one of the players to watch off of. I'm not exactly sure the finer points of how to make it work, but if you can find the game in the watch tab, it is free to watch currently, but once the ticket comes out, you'll have to have the compendium bundle to do so.
5 seconds
So,
remaining.
last picks now coming out. We'll see what MVP have in mind. MVP, they didn't logo up. What are you doing? Well, what am I doing? Oh, I'm the on-duty admin for this game and did not enforce the law.
10 seconds remaining.
Well, we'll see something that will be coming out here as the last pick. Couple seconds remaining, and they really put it down to the wire. It's going to be the Medusa mid, so they're going kind of late game. They do get that secondary carry here. Looks like it's going to be Lost playing a mid Medusa against the Queen of Pain, so you can just kind of play somewhat defensively. And the Naga Siren, by the way, your resident sleeper, has been picked up. So, Fixer's going to be handling that one. We'll see if he's probably going safe lane, but could even go mid, but less inclined to do so against the Medusa, I feel. Medusa not the best carry as far as matching up against Naga Siren. Sure, it's like, oh, you got an ultimate that crushes illusions and you got AoE damage, but Naga illusions are all about the split push and going in one at a time. You never just send 3 illusions at one hero together, generally speaking. If you go for that fighting like Manta Diffusal type build, yeah, okay, maybe you do. Or late game when your illusions get super tanky, you do. But when you have like your Radiance, Boots of Travel, Manta, your illusions are spread across the map. You're doing your full illusion split in 5-6 different directions, looking to creep skip waves when your opponents are pushing. So that's where Medusa, it's not like it's a bad carry to have against Naga, but it definitely by no means is a counter to the Naga, I feel, as far as carry goes. It definitely was not picked up as a counter, but it's still a reasonable pick to have in its own right. I think it'll match up pretty well mid lane against a potential Queen of Pain there, whatever it may be. So, Game 3 underway. One game apiece here. It's going to be Awat playing the Queen of Pain. So far been playing most of the carry role. He's going to switch over to mid, it looks like. We've got Sand King, we've got Angie playing the Tidehunter, and Lubby on the Lion. Off in the safe lane, Fixer's going to be playing your Naga Siren. For the Dire side, it's going to be Forev on the Slark playing the carry role for the team. Lost playing that kind of secondary carry. Maybe kind of more the late game carry and Slark more the mid game carry. He's going to be on the Medusa. On the Skywrath Mage, it's going to be Dubu in the Baton Enigma, going to be going towards the jungle, and that leaves the Omni Knight in the hands of Heen down at bottom. Heen has switched off support. Okay, so a bit of a role swap here. Normally, last time around it was Heen on the Enigma. Did not have a very good Enigma game, to be fair to him. He's putting it, not trying to criticize too heavily, but it was not his best game, and we'll see him over in the offlane with Baton switching off of the offlane into the jungling role of Enigma, unless he's going offlane, but no. This Soul Ring recipe, Clarities, this is very much a jungle build. Problem is, well, maybe it's even a dual lane, I guess, is the other option, but We'll see Enigma head down there. This is not really your offlane build. If you're going offlane, you generally want Tangos or Salves, some kind of HP regen, but you have got the Omni out there to support you. He's got some Tangos he can share. And the jungle's been blocked off, no Sentry Wards in sight, and that's where Enigma almost has to lane at this stage, so... I stand corrected. It will be an offlane Enigma, so still kind of fulfilling that 3-position offlane role baton with a 2-1-2 laning setup coming out of the MVP side. You see our top lane's going to be Tide against the dual lane himself. It means Tide can have a slightly better time. He hasn't got much HP regen. Something against it. Whoa. Forev. Jumps the gun there. Something against these dual lanes you generally do want to have is more regen. If you're against a trial and you're getting zoned out completely, it's like, well, you pop your regen, but you're getting 0 XP. Against a dual lane, you can get an XP range, and you're going to trade damage. And that's where having more Tangos, more Salves can kind of be beneficial for you. But we'll see what the move's going to be here. Sand King and Lion. No smokes on the two of them, so unlikely to see any early rotations here. But they're going to start stacking nice and early. Get the D-Ward off as well, which is a nice little victory. Normally when you put it in this spot, you want to put it further down. So this Sentry Ward should not be able to spot the ward here. You can put it further down here. You can go even as far down as down here. Just some slight kind of pull blocking techniques. So we'll see how things develop there. Mid lane's going to be a Queen of Pain versus Medusa. And Medusa, probably a slight bit of struggle against the Queen of Pain harass, but not going to be a terrible lane. So far it's Queen of Pain, they're lasting very well. 9 last hits, 3 denies to the 6-0 of Medusa. As 2 mids runes coming up, Sand King hoping for some bounty runes here. Normally you want like your haste, your invis, but Sand King wants his level 3 as fast as possible. Gets the worst possible. It's not a bounty rune, and it's also not a rune he can really gank with. It's an illusion rune. Bit of a dud. The one nice thing he can look to do with this rune is maybe stack multiple camps at once with it. Send some of these over to these other medium camps and use them to stack. That's probably your best bet as far as illusion runes go, but in general, not a rune you particularly want to see as a Sand King. He needs to start finding somewhere to leech XP. The pull's going to start. Lion also just level 1 here, so both these supports super underleveled here. Naga getting full solo XP, level 3.5, level 4 soon. That's something where Sand King maybe just needs to be leeching more XP from lane. At this point, even with the pulls here, Lion needs to be maybe more in lane and giving this to Sand King, because this Sand King does not want to be sharing as much as he is right now. There's your soul rank for the Enigma. So Enigma going to keep on denying XP as well as farm as much as possible from the Naga Siren, but not really slowing Naga down too much. Just a couple CS behind the top farmers and the Queen of Pain, the Slark. We'll see how things can unravel from here. So there we go. Sand King level 2.5. Going to actually move towards mid lane. And Medusa pretty low on HP. They know that bottle's coming out soon, but this is pre-bottle. This looks like a kill. Sand King Illusion's going to go in. This is a kill even without the Sand King. Burrow Strike. Is it even needed? Yeah, they'll take it. Sand King's like, may as well. But he's kind of blocked in now. The Malefice is just level 1. Sand King will be fine. Doesn't even take a single tower shot. All he needs now is like 1 XP worth of creeps, and he's level 3, and he can hit up the jungle. He says, come on, Queen of Pain. Come on, Queen of Pain. There we go. Level 3. And he's going to be able to stack this in camp. Lion can maybe stack this. There's already quite a low stack. So on top lane, meanwhile, Tide. The man up on the Skywrath Mage. That's a fight he's going to lose, though. Slack with the value point and essence shifts. Comes out on top there, and we'll see a kill go the other way now. But the more important one happening at the mid lane. Sand King also getting the first blood means we're looking at a very fast Blink Dagger timing. Looks like Lion missed his last stack there, but still multiple triple stacks going on here. A quad stack here even for the Sand King. I think this was triple. I can't count. That's a triple. Top lane, Tides come back and we'll give Slack some more. Slack going for that Orb of Venom in lane and already paying off as far as getting him some kills here. We'll see if he upgrades his treads early, if he wants that extra kill potential, or just tries to maybe rush a Midas. Both possibilities here. Enigma's already rotated back into that jungle. As it seems they're going to give some Omni Knight some solo XP down bottom and give him that possibility to just maybe level up a little bit faster. Omni Knight, a very level dependent hero. Less so about the items. If you want something like a value, like a Soul Ring or an Arcane Boot. But having high levels on this hero is where you get your maximum value. This guy's just going to ward. Actually blocks out the Ancients here somewhat, but We'll see. Yeah, unfortunately, another failed stack. This one, it's just some of these, especially those trolls. These troll jerks with their slow movement speed, 270 movement speed on the small trolls, and they keep getting like body blocked behind other trolls. Stacking those things is no fun. You want the fast, like Ursas. The Hellbears are pretty good. As are the Wild Wings are pretty nice as well. Centaurs, so not, I think, similar. Not sure of all their movement speeds, but see how things kind of unravel in some of these other lanes. Tide's back top, getting some decent XP and farm, but not really on par with what we're seeing Omni Knight get down bottom. He's got a bit more 6 CS matching up to the Tide, but just about a half level ahead. Small things here in the early game. Not to mention, though, there is the jungling Enigma, but that's kind of the trade-off with the Sand King winning the jungle battle. I mean, Enigma didn't have his jungle camps from the get-go, which is definitely a scenario where he couldn't actually make use of them. And this is a 6-minute blink dagger. That is insane. No mud golems today, as this ancient stack ain't gonna work here. Queen of Pain will secure a top bounty rune. Hits level 7 as well. This is gonna be a Sand King with a blink. He could even level up the epicenter. Pop the clarity. He'll have enough mana. See the Omni and Illusion come on in and slightly disrupt this. As see what Sand King has in mind. He wants to not get scattered out with the blink dagger, because this timing, Medusa's not ready for this, assuming it's going Medusa's way. The other option is you gank someone like the Slacky, who does have the Midas recipe in hand. Can pick up a TP scroll, as well as the blink dagger, and possibly go for an epicenter Burrow Strike up top. Actually picks up the smoke instead, which is probably a good idea, because if he did TP top, there is a lane ward, but I think the easier, more guaranteed kill is going to be on this mid lane Medusa. Even with the mana shield in place, Slack is just that kind of unknown. Could get off a Dark Pack, could get off a Shadow Dance, and Tide just doesn't really have much follow-up damage. So the short kill is going to be mid lane, it looks like, and that's where Sand King's headed. May not even need the epicenter. As Medusa, you do a bit of damage here, get her below that 200 mana threshold, and you're looking at a kill. They'll need one of the 2 ultimates, it looks like. There we go. Blink, Burrow Strike. They'll use the epicenter. Probably hold on to the Sonic Wave here. Yep, and they'll be able to get that kill. Sand King, the blink surprise, 7 minutes in. Meanwhile, bottom lane, simultaneously, Omni Knight goes down. That's your Naga Siren Lion duo. Lion picking up the last hit on that kill. Gets just level 4, though, so not exactly getting huge amounts of experience out of this lane, but still
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
looking to be in a reasonably good position here. Queen of Pain at mid, farming decently as well. I was about to say all 3 cores. Sand King ain't no core. This is a jungle. Well, he started off as a 4 position. The Tide's quickly becoming the real 4 position. His offlane has not been a fun time against the Slack Skywrath Mage. That is a tough lane. So for now, see what pressure can be alleviated there. Queen of Pain waiting on that 8-minute rune. May need to help out top lane. Here comes a TP. That's a Sand King. He'll have a blink Burrow Strike. Could stun through the Shadow Dance. Does do so. Don't turn around, Tide. Oh, went for a last Anchor Smash as well. 4 out of mana. Where's that Queen of Pain? Picked up a regen rune. The TP out from your Skywrath Mage. He'll stay alive. 4 of those. Doesn't look like he'll be so lucky. Burrow Strike is available. Is there a blink, a scream? 1 right click. What am I talking about? There ain't no blink. There ain't no scream. Queen of Pain does it the old-fashioned way. Mano-y mano. Takes him out. 4 kills to 2. First departure. Gonna be happy that they killed the Slack there, and the loss on the Tide, it's one of those kind of like trade-offs for them at this point. Tide at least getting some farm, some XP out of the lane, although it may not be as much as he would hope for. Another smoke coming out from Sand King. Is this headed mid lane on the Medusa, or where are they headed? Possibly trying to find the Enigma. They say, let's sweep through this jungle. Enigma's down bottom, though. But hey, you don't find the Enigma, you say, well, there's no Enigma here. There's a Medusa at mid lane. That's even better. They'll have to use the Sonic Wave, it looks like, with Epicenter on cooldown. But a blink Burrow Strike here. They have to be worried about a TP in from someone like an Omni Knight. He does have that available. Need to try and keep tabs of him. It looks like they are waiting, biding their time, deciding not to go for it, even with the Sonic Wave. Probably the right move here. They can maybe kill the Medusa, but you don't know what you're going to be trading for in return of that. Sand King will stay around in the enemy jungle. See what he can find. It's bottom lane where MVP are grouped up and offering a lot of heroes for the time being. And this is not an ancient stack you can really farm, Medusa. Sorry to break it to you. Got no treads, just got to ring Acola. Got level 1 split shot. That's unlikely to happen here. Black hole available. Queen of Pain will scout it out. Actually gets hit by the Suns. It's an epicenter. Blink Burrow Strike. Catches 2 with the Burrow Strike, but that's enough. Gets 2 immediately. Medusa will survive. The Burrow Strike hit Medusa. Possibly a Sonic Wave killer for a 3rd, but Sand King did the job well enough, getting 2 of them. Would have been something exceptional if he gotten all 3, but even so. Very nicely played. Nicely baited. The smoke gank backfiring on MVP. Top lane, though, at least making up for it again. Mr. Tidehunter meets his fishy brethren, and he sends him to a fishy grave. Mid tier 1 tower now under a bit of pressure here, as there is a haste rune picked up for Medusa. Useful thing to have. All this pressure we're seeing at this mid lane, and Sanking looks to be headed straight back there after healing up at the fountain. They won't have an epicenter for some time, but not necessarily the biggest of problems there. Tide straight back to that top lane. We've seen him die one too many times, especially as far as first departure concerned. He is all 3 of their deaths, and at this point he just needs to maybe hold off a little bit. Well, lane is around where the Sanking's trying to sack these Ancients again, but this Observer Order has kind of served its purpose, cancelling and blocking that Ancient sack on multiple occasions. Sanking will realize that and be like, okay, there's either a Sentry or an Obs here, and if there's an Obs, I'm also being scouted out, so something to kind of keep in mind for him as he just plops his butt right on top of that Observer Ward. Top lane Tide still looking for that level 6. All of this, though, is, I mean, go back to that old statement. Space creation for your Naga Siren. Your Naga Radiance looking to be on pretty good timing right now. 3k gold on fixes. He's on track to get some kind of like a 16, 17 minute Radiance if he can keep going at this rate. Isn't quite on par for farm with the Queen of Pain and the Slack, but those heroes have been getting kills, have been just kind of getting a bit more movement around the map as well. Naga somewhat limited to this bottom lane, also getting some farm out of the jungle, but also not having the easiest of free farm lanes with these supports moving a bit more actively. Lion now, his level 6 is the next big kind of important objective for first departure to get. Then they have a bit more kill potential, can maybe look to go on Medusa. It's like, earlier when I was talking about getting the Medusa, they need one of those big ultimates. They could kill her with the Epicenter, or they could kill her with the Sonic Wave, but they have to commit one, and Finger's just another alternative. So that means being able to gank a Medusa or a Slack is very reliant on having an ultimate at their disposal. They're not going to be able to kill one of these heroes without going through one of these cooldowns. So the more of these big ultis they have, the more often they can do it. They can use an Epicenter one time, come back a minute later, do it with a Finger of Death. And at some point, these heroes are going to start tanking up enough, like Medusa. Maybe less so with this build. If you've got like some treads, if you've got like a magic wand, at some point it may become a case where you have to use 2 ultimates. Like you have to use a Finger and an Epicenter, or a Sonic Wave and an Epicenter. So the more ultis at your disposal, the easier these kills and pickoffs are going to be to find. Queen of Pain now. Gonna move on to the high ground, get these stacks going. There we go. Now where they're actually happening. Haven't really... Okay, what I was about to say, who have they got to actually take them? The carries into it. The Tide, of course. The old-fashioned, the original Ancients killer. Tide is level 7 now, and probably looking at that, yeah, 4th point in Anchor Smash. He's pretty good to go here. Slark getting close to a Shadow Blade. He's actually rotated off the lane, looking to pressure the Naga Siren some, but not going to be too successful here. Pounces forward, not going to find the real Naga, the real one back in this bottom lane, and has a Song of the Siren should she need it. Not to mention the relic has already been acquired, so 13.5 minutes in. This is good tidings for first departure. Fortunately, they need to fix some of this pressure we're seeing down bottom lane so Naga can finish the rest of the Radiance. Either get a tower at top lane for the extra money. Oh, by the way, speaking of top lane, Epicenter. Ravage just for good measure. I guess they wanted to secure the kill. If Enigma turns around with a black hole and someone TP's in, suddenly you're in trouble. Oh, Lubby with the jukes. He's breaking ankles here. Looks for the TP out. Won't get it, but still some nice tree usage there. You do find the kill though, but again, Naga gets a few CS off of this, but here comes the pressure on the tower. Doesn't actually have a TP, and this is where Fixes. Uh-oh, this is kind of awkward. He needs to go buy a TP and get the hell out of here. Actually, he's going to run west, it looks like. They're pinging him out. How are they going to chase him? Slack with no Blink Dagger for chasing, and it looks like it's going to be a 2-minute cooldown. That's a level 2 song, so for Naga, that was even less of a issue using that cooldown. Goes back to the jungle, has the max mirror images, so should be able to farm a couple camps or 2 here. Quelling Blade online to complement the damage there, and this top tier 1 tower continues to get kind of whittled away at. This Queen of Pain now, Orchid complete, has an Invis rune as well. Kind of pinging out this bottom lane, possibly something they may consider defending, but Since the time being, yep, that is going to be the plan here. Sand King comes in, has a Blink Bio Strike, no Epicenter, but a Blink Bio Strike, you got a finger, and that's your Queen of Pain. Invis Rune is used. They know the TP went in. There's going to be a Scream Strike. Wait, they missed the Bio Strike, though. Enigma silence up. They will be able to bring the Enigma down in time. Blink out from Queen of Pain. Needs to come and needs to come soon. Blinks off to the side here. Tide shows up, but without a Ravage here. Sand King. Bio Strike is available. He could blink after this one. May look to go on forward. There's a Dark Pact here. There's that Sand King gone. Impale at the ready with an Orchid. The Bio Strike comes through again. Not really in the right place at the right time, but hey, they get 2 kills. It's one team fight for first departure. And a nice little gold swing for them. No money going Naga's way in that fight, but space created for Naga to farm and possibly even get a tower here. This Arcane Boots even keep the Naga nice and juiced up, ready to keep on fighting. 16 minutes in and looking like Radiance is coming on right after this T1 tower goes down. If it does go down, Medusa not really equipped to defend this one. Has gone back for more points and split shots to help take out these ancient stacks and come online a little bit faster. But this Medusa, 6k net worth, not exactly particularly farmed. Good illusion placement coming out from Fixers. Keeping that vision up well behind, and Naga gets the last hit. There's your Radiance. Not exactly the best trades occurring for MVP Hot6 around the map right now. Tide's ready to go with the Blink. He even has Ravage back online. Epicenter here too. They've got all their ultis, apart from the Sonic Wave, but... Okay, what am I talking about? They're missing 2, but they've got 2 out of 4. It's one of those things where, talk about how many big ultimates they have. All they need is a couple. They don't need to have every single ultimate. They can fight without a Sonic Wave if they have a Ravage and have another big ultimate. Which is exactly the case. Blink, Ravage, catches out 2 here. They need to try to bring down the Medusa, and they will do so. There's your Epicenter to follow things up here. Slark gonna barely survive. Almost got both there. The Orchid being used on the Medusa, could have used it on the Slark perhaps, but they wanted to make sure Medusa went down there, but one of those things where maybe they could have killed both, but either way, they still got a kill on a carry there, and all it cost them was some ulti cooldowns. Yeah, it's a Ravage and an Epicenter, 2 long cooldown ultimates, but in another 30 seconds, they're going to have Finger and Sonic Wave. They're always going to have a couple big ultimates online that they're just cycling through. They're never using all 4 of them at once in a team fight. If they do, it's probably because they're team wiping MVP Hot6 if they're using all their ultimates together. So right now it just feels like First Departure have a lot more firepower and just a lot more options as far as winning these clashes and engagements. Blinks into the Slark. Oh, misses the pounce. Not sure if he would have had enough damage anyways, but would have at least been some pressure coming out there. Bounty Rune up top, going to be probably picked up by this Queen of Pain to refill the bottle once more. There's also 18 minutes approaching, so there'll be another rune for him available just momentarily. Medusa, still just phase Yasha. The bare basics as far as Medusa farming tools go. Slark with the Shadow Blade needs to channel his inner Illidan and just try and create all kinds of space, find kills across the map. He needs to use this Shadow Blade to great effect. Fix is going to start farming the enemy jungle, not just his own side of the map. He wants to limit and starve out what MVP Hot6 have available to them as well. There's a point booster for your Queen of Pain, so seems to be suggesting the Acceptance X. And Sand King, Staff of Wizardry, either Yule Scepter or Full Staff, something along those lines. Some extra kind of initiation type play from a Yule Scepter is nice, but the Force is always good as well. Maybe less so against this team. Uh-oh, Courier! They're going to go chasing after it. The Burrow Strike in Sand King, that's ambitious. Flies across the open space, but no one there to finish it off. Would have been a small little boost to First Departure. They don't even need. At this point, it's already a 6,000 to 7,000 gold lead. Experience similar story. MVP Hot6 aren't really getting their calls online. The Omni Knight pick has been... It's not really meant to do a huge amount in the early game. Like it's meant to be around the 15 to 20 minute stage of the game where it can shine, but it shines better with aggressive lineups. The Slark's trying to be aggressive, but often he goes off on... Like, the nature of a Shadowblade Slark is he goes off on these solo missions. I think Omni Knight, like, great with something like an Axe, maybe. I mean, he is good with a Slark, to be honest. I think it's more like a Blink Dagger type Slark thing where you're trying to fight in 5-man more. Medusa just being behind it as she is kind of hurts things right now a bit. Naga getting chased around. He doesn't actually have a TP out, but does have Song and should be more than okay as far as getting out of this one. Level progression has slowed down. Being level 11 for a while. Hit it like a couple songs ago bottom lane here. Uh-oh, Sanking at bottom. Gets brought down. Queen of Pain gets a return kill on the Enigma. Doesn't go chasing for any more. The Slark is kind of on the hunt, but good luck getting a Queen of Pain. Ewa going deep here. Looking for this Skywrath, and if Skywrath pokes his head out, such at the creep wave season, I think it almost go for this one. Did Queen of Pain see that? It's going to be a TP out. Not going to go for the blink in. The top lane goes Skywrath Mage. Okay. So things looking very good with first departure, having Queen of Pain and Naga Siren where they are. The support Sanking is doing all kinds of things as far as making plays. And Tide about to finish off his mech. One big black Drake away. And, well, 20 gold as well on top of that. But he'll get that with interest. So smoke up now. They're going to look to take a fight now. They've got their ultimates back online. Ravage, Epicenter. No Sonic Wave for about 60 seconds. That was used at bottom, but it's not the Queen of Pain they're looking to gank with. They're going to make their way... Well, they're going to actually head towards the Queen of Pain. But they can do plenty without a Sonic Wave here. And maybe the fact that there's no Sonic Wave may make MVP Hot6 more likely to try and make something happen like a defense here. Oh, Medusa. Wrong neighborhood, buddy. Blink in. Gets off the Stone Gaze here. The Epicenter Burrow Strike. Even the finger. That finger didn't even hit in the end. Killed too fast there. Possibly a bit overzealous here. Naga, meanwhile. Whoa. Brought down. Didn't even get a chance to use the Song of the Siren. Possibly running out of mana there. Slark finding that kill. That's a big pick-off to be having. Still, it's not... It's still going to need a lot more than that to start a comeback. But that's a huge pick-me-up for MVP Hot6. MVP are all about getting to the late game with a Medusa, as well as Slark, Omni Knight, Enigma, two amazing late game supports. So I guess Enigma kind of that pseudo off-laner 3 position here in this game. Queen of Pain goes blinking in. Well, speaking of Omni Knight, he needs to stay alive if he wants to do his thing, and he's just getting shut down by this Orchid. Queen of Pain even now with the Ag Scepter. At this point, it's not even just the Naga you're worried about. It's a level 16 Queen of Pain with an Ag Scepter coming soon. And there is just no clear answers to that from this dire side. They have got the Skywrath with an Ancient Seal maxed out, but imagine Queen of Pain's next item may be something like a BKB to offer some way of at least dealing with your Malefice, your Skywrath damage. It's to mid lane we go. Here we go. Queen of Pain. Ready to go in. Blink Bar Strike. The Tide gonna follow this one out. They're gonna get one kill to start things off. The Ravage comes out. Doesn't do the most there, but it's 4 if they want. He has gone for a BKB. Hey, what? Sonic Wave used. Not really getting too many follow-up kills off of that one. They're gonna be forced back by the Stone Gaze, but first departure, taking no casualties, and 4F still chasing. It's the Tide. His nemesis. No, he wants the Courier. Could have maybe had the Tide, but says the Courier's maybe a little more valuable here. And also a sure thing. One Shadowblade Strike, and that's that. As Naga now will re-enter the fray. Well, not so much the fight, but the split push at bottom lane. No T2 tower to be claimed there, but pressure on the high ground even. You start poking around and just forcing heroes back to defend that lane. Oh, this Medusa's farm is just nowhere to be seen.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, what a sad, sad career with all the MVP autographs and no longer a team. Oh. Well, something nostalgic for Heen, perhaps. His old his TI-14,
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
as well as they did. So mid lane is going to be the next focus of attention for first departure. Naga will keep pressure at bottom lane. Keep some heroes down there. Probably even send an illusion mid or something. Just the radiance damage. You put that on someone like a Skywrath with a Riptide, and there goes half your HP. This is like, yeah. Okay. Oh, there's a second one. Okay, Omni Knight will save it. For a second, I'm like, is this actually a kill? Just Naga illusions? I mean, that could happen. It's not completely unheard of. Wow, Lion somehow avoids the Slark without even realizing Slark is there. He may need to blink out. He's going to be running into that Slark momentarily. Gets vision, though. Blinks backwards, and Slark with no blink himself. Lion may just look TP out. Maybe your safest bet. Slark not having any way of cancelling that one. So, trying to blade in, and before he's running out of mana at this point, we'll have to head off some other direction with a new plan. So mid lane, tier 2 tower gets claimed. At this point, MVP Hot6 don't really have the ability to defend half their towers whenever there's even if a Tide Ravage is on cooldown like it was there. It's like, what can you actually fight into an epicenter, a song, epicenter, sonic wave? Finger of Death can instantly blow up a hero as well. There's just too many ways for First Departure to fight. Even with multiple, even if they whiff an ulti or two, they've got so much backup, they've got such a big item advantage now, and it's turned into a 10k gold lead, 6, 7, 8k experience lead. Oh boy. Troubles are brewing. Enigma work on a BKB. This is essential. This BKB. There is still an ensnare from your Naga Siren. That's the one way to cancel that, I believe that I'm seeing. Nothing else that will go through the BKB apart from that ensnare, but if you can catch the Naga, which is generally one of the heroes you want to try and aim for, something like a Naga with the Queen of Pain, and whichever other melee initiators try and get in there with that BKB black hole, it'd be nice. Won't have a Blink Dagger on top of that, though, for some time. And Tide already getting to work on a refresh rob. Has picked up the Perseverance. You see, First Departure. Not waste too much time. They've taken all the tier 2 towers, so the next move could be Roshan, although their lineup is kind of dubious as far as taking Roshan goes. The right-click damage is not really there. Naga, all about the Radiance Burn, the Riptide, and just the split push. Queen of Pain, not really that right-click damage oriented either. We'll pick up the Ultimate Orb and look to build into what I imagine will be a Scythe of Vice. Give some even additional lockdown and disable to go with this team. Could be a Linken's if you're worried about like an Ancient Seal. I mean, what is it going to stop? A Malefice or an Ancient Seal? I guess a Mystic Snake if it's targeted at you, I think will proc on Linken's. But those all sound like unnecessary reasons to get a Linken's when you... I think you almost want to go more aggressive. You already got survivability from your Ags and Treads. You've got 1700 HP. Sand King gonna walk into this Medusa, who is repelled for the time being and doesn't have a TP. This Omni Knight has to stay nearby. Medusa gonna pick up a TP, but Sand King, hold the Burrow Strike. Cancel that TP. Gonna pop the Sandstorm for now. Omni Knight nearby may just go for a repel TP. Now it could be Omni Knight who's in trouble. He's the one who, yeah, he's going to TP out. Oh, gets the cancel. Nicely played by Sand King. Finds your Omni. Heal Bomb will do some good damage there as it looks like, yeah, Medusa will TP out. Leave the Omni Knight to suffer. Sand King will pick up the last hit. Nicely played by Sand King. He has been on point this game. 5-1 and 8. And there hasn't been many deaths on the Radiant side apart from some somewhat unavoidable feeds in the offlane from Tide and the lane. So it's something that will happen. You're against a strong, potent dual lane like a Skyreth Slark. If you're an offlane Tide, you may die once or twice. If you get some XP, some farm, it does work in your favor to some extent. Enigma now even trying to farm the enemy jungle. Desperate times call for desperate measures, says Baton, and he's BKB. Oh, he's going for the Blink, actually. I was about to say, where does money go? Blink Dagger was picked up, so many spells that can cancel it outside, though. All 5 heroes have at least one way, some with multiple. And the Siren. Ooh. Brought down the BKB Slark, able to fight through the Song of the Siren. That's a big kill to be getting here. That Naga taken out of the picture. Top lane, what are they going to do here? Looks like they're at least chip away at this tier 3 tower and do what damage they can here, but second death on Naga Siren that felt somewhat potentially, I don't know if avoidable is the right word, but maybe like something that just didn't need to happen. They're going to go back in. Omni Knight, easy kill the Orchid. He does not have the defensive support behind him to keep him alive. If he gets jumped, he's in trouble. They still have Ravage Epic. They've still got all their ultimates here. They may even re-engage here if they find a nice little target to go on. I feel like First Departure aren't going to be deterred by the fact that Naga's dead. If anything, I'll be like, let's take a fight. If we win it, Naga's going to respawn and suddenly we're going to have some great pushing potential. Not to mention Naga does have boots of travel to quickly get back into things. Ooh, nice little observer ward from the tree spot. Or somewhat questioning what was going down there, and he's going to, I guess, realize where some of these observer wards are. Once he clears out this camp, he's like, where's my Shadow Dance? Where's my Shadow Dance? He's pinging around here, trying to figure out exactly where it is. It looks like he should have a pretty good idea of where that ward is. As the Naga illusion is going to disperse. One goes bottom, a couple go top, a couple near the mid lane, and something that MVP Hot6 are getting slightly better and better dealing with. Medusa's trying to at least sack up some items, has the completed Skadi, but As I say that, Naga picks up a Diffusal Blade, so starts adding some mana burn to the arsenal. And well, you need something like a Heart of Tarrasque for some more HP, or you can go like a Butterfly route if you want some evasion as well as more attack speed. So many options for your Naga, and your Naga is a full like 6-7k net worth ahead of your Medusa. Queen of Pain up there as well, even out-farming the Slack ever so slightly, but your 2 top net worth heroes on that Radiant side, and then even looking at the supports, the utility heroes, farm heavily favoring First Departure. Tide, talked about his refresher, he's only, what, some like 1800 gold away. It feels like First Departure, unfortunately don't have a Roche taking lineup, or that would be something that would be like, normal game in this position, it's like, great, we have complete map control, we took all the tier 2s, let's take Roshan and then push high ground. That's one of the big weaknesses about this First Departure draft, but they're playing it well, they're team fighting amazing. I mean, that's their forte, their team fight. They're also, their late game's pretty damn good, and they've got good split push, Queen of Pain as well as Naga able to do so. Oh, they've caught out Lost here. They're going to Ravage here, won't even get off the Stone Gaze, at least not yet. They may still be able to do so. The Finger of Death will prevent it. Blink in from your Enigma. Black Hole comes out. Where's your Hex Impale? They're both on cooldown. It's a good Black Hole. Medusa going to buy back to come back into this one. They've lost Queen of Pain. There's your song from Fixes. Slark and BKB Shadow Dance trying to find his way out of this one. The BKB wears off. Oh, Fixes gets caught out, bashed by the Slug. He's going to go down as well. And MVP Hot6 when a big team fight. Epicenter comes way too late here. Sanking going to go across the cliff. Enigma gets some vision. One more right click. Medusa. Sandstorm slowing him down. There's a blink in a second or two. Gets the high ground. Has a TP in 8. Is there a Midnight Pulse? Yes, there is. Enigma, get in there, my son. Oh, it's a rampage! Forev has done it. He gets the 5th. Full team wipe coming out from Forev. This player has been putting his team on his back, even going back to previous games. He has just been doing incredibly well. Looks like a new man on this MVP Hot6 team. Up to 6k gold all of a sudden. That was massive. Not to mention the Enigma. Got to give it some credit where it's due. Baton hits a big black hole. Even goes in after the Lion had already used his disable, so it didn't matter he didn't have a BKB. He hit black hole on 3-4 big heroes. With the Lion standing right next to him, he's like, well, I can right-click you, I can mana drain you, but what I can't do is impale or hex you. Both those spells on cooldown. Nicely played. They're going to get an Aegis out of this as well. First Roshan of the game, surprisingly, at 32 minutes, considering that one team had such a big advantage, but just unable to take it, and Medusa going to be the one picking up the Aegis. Slark feeling pretty damn invincible after how well he's done in these last couple of fights, but does need to be a bit careful. The Repel also causing him problems here. Goes in on Awa. Where's the bash? Gets it finally. Pounce going to help cover his retreat there. Lion turns around, and Slark actually using the BKB. Don't want to overextend too much here. Naga actually kills the Scarab. That's just some illusion play? Yeah, you betcha. Skywrath Mage is not into the illusion play. Medusa can kind of handle it, you know. But as things stand, suddenly, Breath of Life coming out from your Dire side. They're still down by 10k gold. Experience in their favor, however. Alright. You said Naga Medusa games were boring. This game just heated up, and suddenly we've got ourselves a Dota 2 game. What was looking like a fairly straightforward affair gets turned on its head, and we'll have to see how a First Departure react to this one. It's still got a lot of farm and good item progression coming out across their 2 main core heroes, and even Tide, who's working on a refresher orb, is getting closer and closer to it.
Illusion.
See where they move into next. Naga, with a decent amount of money saved up, 3k gold.
Invisibility.
Probably not worth upgrading your Diffusal right now. You want you actually value the charges quite a lot against an Omni Knight, of course. The mana burns being the same at both levels, just the big agi growth as you level it up. Very value agi item, but at this point it's like you can work on a heart or a butterfly if you really want that agi item. I imagine it's going to be the Heart of Tarrasque here. There's some Midnight Pulse percent base. Medusa, another... Uh-oh, bottom lane. Speaking of Medusa, they're going to look to bring her down. Nice! Impale on 2. Here comes Enigma again. Doesn't have mana for the black hole. Only gets it after the Soul Ring. It's too late, perhaps. Tide is there on the backlines. Did get off one Ravage. Looks like he will go down. Nice GA coming from Omni. Another Burrow Strike hitting multiple heroes, but it's too late. They haven't got the damage. First Departure. They crumble. Like breadcrumbs. 3 go down. They hit everything pretty nicely there, but that was not even the Aegis they got rid of. Medusa just damn tanky with that Skadi. The magic damage just not cutting it right now. The lack of a right-click kind of physical damage dealer like your Troll, your Juggernaut, kind of really showing. Your Naga's kind of slowly getting there, but needs more. Needs more farm. Needs, I feel like, 2 big items now. Needs the heart and the butterfly. Picks up the talisman, so it will be at least a casual talisman. Sometimes this is like a talisman into a Heart of Taras just for the value. Especially against his Slack. Slack will see this though, and I wonder if he even commits to the butterfly. He may see it and be like, ah, well, you want to build evasion? Well, great, I'm just gonna go back. Instead of getting talisman, let's get MKB. Or maybe he keeps the talisman, sells the Midas, and replaces that with the MKB. But considering how well he's farming and where he's at right now, he could very well get butterfly and then MKB in no time at all if he wanted to. Hunting off in the trees, not gonna find too much more. This comeback, it's happening. You climb that mountain, but the drop is just ever much more painful. The first departure right now, it's looking like they need to go back, not so much to the drawing board, but go back to what was working for them earlier, which is finding kills and pickoffs quickly and then taking objectives. The problem is, once you've taken all the outer towers, your only next objectives is either Roshan or tier 3s, and while they don't have a good Roshan lineup, it does feel like, easy to say in hindsight, they should have just gone for that at some point. Like, once they got a kill or two, or get some good map control, just take Roshan, even if it took a long time. Get something like a medallion on a Sand King to help bring down Roshan that little bit easier. First departure, they are in some trouble right now. This gold deficit, or gold advantage of theirs, isn't cutting it, especially when their late game is Guardian Angel, Black Hole, huge late game ultimates, and combine that with a farmed ass Slack and a, yeah, kind of farm Medusa. Medusa's getting there, you know, give her some time. She's making it do.
Healing and harm.
Up to 4k gold now with a Yasha Skadi, so next item will be coming in due time, and uh-oh, Naga in trouble. Could go for the BKB so he doesn't get songed here. Gets the bash though, doesn't need it. Song, not gonna happen. Actually, he'd already used the BKB. I'm not sure why Naga didn't song. Bit of an odd one there. This is the BKB even on cooldown meant Naga could have just gone for the song there. I guess thinking that Slack was going to reveal which illusion was real, but at the end of the day, he was just going to kill. He was going to go through all 3 of those illusions and the real Naga if he had to. He was a man on a mission.
Courier has been killed.
Secret mission, courier sniping, success for your Sand King. Nothing much on it. Some smoke, some TPs. Slack. I think Slack was trying to pick up his Eagle song, so we'll delay that butterfly to by a small amount. Tide's Refresher feeling like a more and more important item as this game goes on.
Radiant structures are fortified.
This is going to be the plan elsewhere though. Queen of Pain almost feels you need to go for a damage item next, just so you can start getting some right click happening. The MKB, possibly. Uh-oh. Enigma goes in on Queen of Pain. There's your silence. There's no BKB here. The Mystic Flare doing some okay damage here. Gets spread out. BKB Black Hole. Here we go. Queen of Pain down. Lubby going to be the next to fall. It gets to Sand King in the trees. Yep, there we go. They finish off the line here. Looking for the Sand King. Epicenter. He doesn't see it. He blinks over to the Enigma. Skywrath kind of avoids that one, luckily. And Sand King now on the run. Has no spells for at least a couple of seconds, and Slack, well, he doesn't even need a couple of seconds. He just needs a couple of right clicks. It's a godlike streak for the Slack of 4Ev now. He's up to 4.8k gold, and as soon as that courier comes back up, probably buying that butterfly of his. Maybe even sooner if he wants to just do it the whole handheld way.
No sorceries avail.
So for first departure, boy oh boy, are they in some trouble now, it feels like. Naga completely fallen off. Tide is getting close to that refresher. He's done pretty well, like, considering he was the one who had the weak early game. He's managed to kind of at least stay relevant. Queen of Pain, 7-2 and 10. The score looks fantastic, but has been far from as dominant as the first 25 or 30 minutes of the game were. The times are changing. First departure, I haven't really been able to adjust recently in these fights. Haven't got a good answer to the BKB Enigma Black Hole, which we kind of saw in that last little clash there. And even though it wasn't like a... I mean, you got 2 heroes in that black hole, which is more than enough in the end. This Naga, just a few too many deaths and getting caught out one too many times, it feels like. Fixes now. 4k gold. At this point, I don't even think you can even be like, oh, I gotta save for buyback in case we lose a fight, gotta hold on. You just gotta buy your items. You're not winning this game unless your Naga gets 6 slotted and 6 slotted as fast as possible. Because later this goes, the worse off first departure. It's not even about the carries. It's about these 2 big ultimates, the Black Hole and the Guardian Angel. You only do so much about that. Diffusal is only going to be able to target 1 hero. You can kind of look to Song to disengage off the Guardian Angel if your Naga still has Song. You see Guardian Angel, you Song. You wait out that Guardian Angel. But there's always going to be maybe someone who's repelled, someone who's BKB'd. There's going to be a problem here somewhere floating around. Well, for now, things are slowing down a little bit here, but only a matter of time. The Black Hole cooldown is kind of what MVP Hot6 want to be playing around. Also, Roshan respawn. Could have happened already. It's going to be a very long Roshan respawn, and that's something that MVP especially have their eye on. Got a much better lineup with the Slack damage to actually deal with Roche. Not sure if they'll want to put the Aegis on him. I believe they'll give it to Medusa again. Slack probably looking to sell his Midas and working on MKB. Especially when you see the evasion coming into play, and for now we'll hold on to it. Probably not wanting to give up buyback money just for like a Demon Edge. Shadowblade's into the enemy jungle. Is there detection? They're going to smoke up, and Radiant team do not have a gem, do not have sentries, do not have dust. What are you thinking? Got no way of seeing this Slack, but good news is he doesn't scout them out with that Shadowblade. They see the Enigma at mid. Potentially looking to wrap around on this one. 4 nearby, they heal up the Enigma. There's your repel as well. Good luck going in now. They have got the Diffusal. Does Naga go in first? It looks like that may be the plan here. He can still BKB. They diffuse him. He doesn't get off the BKB. Get the insta-hex off Baton. Can he be kept alive? BKB, Black Hole. He gets it off on 3. This is looking terrible. In goes your Omnight with a GA, and Enigma may go down, but it doesn't matter. Damage has been done. There's your Ravage. So there's 2. They're going to lose 4 Maybe it's not as good as it looked like for the Dire team. MVP Hot6 lose 4. They buy back 2. Medusa's looking to man fight in the front lines, but finally a team fight that works. Titan only had to use 1 Ravage. He's got a second. They're just going to TP out and say, look, we won that fight. They brought down the Slack in good time there. This 5-second BKB just wasn't really cutting it in. That fight looked... I mean, looking at how it started, Enigma did not die to the Diffusal Hex Initiation. Got off a decent 3-hero Black Hole. Didn't get down the Midnight Pulse, I guess. And that's where they were missing some damage, but Slack just wasn't doing damage in the Black Hole. And Medusa wasn't doing damage in that. Didn't actually get a Stone Gaze out as well. And end result, big first departure victory. Is they going to go hunting here? By Medusa. That's a Burrow Strike to start things off. They've got other disables following up. Line with an Impale as well as a Hex, but there's a Slack nearby they want to be a little bit careful of. Tide Ravage immediately gets Dark Pacted off. They do catch the Medusa with this one. Boro goes in with a BKB. Abyssal Blade wants this Tide, gets impaled, but another Dark Pack. Perfectly timed coming in. Burrow Strike Sandstorm. If they got detected with this Queen of Pain this time. No, it's another Dark Pack. He gets 3 in a row. Gets out of the Hex as well. Medusa going to get ensnared up, gets healed up, and there's your repel. They're going to turn and fight. Vix is in trouble. Song to disengage. There is still a repel. Okay, diffuse it off and TP out. Okay, success. That Slack, though. Holy cow. He could not have Dark Pacted off more big spells. The insta Dark Pact on Ravage, on the Lion Impale, and then at the end on the Queen of Pain Hex. I thought Queen of Pain had him. After the first 2, I was like, okay, nice, good Dark Pacts, especially on the Ravage, like a really quick, like pre-use. Obviously, it's a very spammable spell, but that one on the Hex, I'm just like, holy crap, man, this guy just getting the perfect timing on these Dark Pacts. Well, things still in the balance to some extent. First apart, you can see a little bounce back in their favor After some of these recent team fights, Experience so heavily dire focused right now. What's our Slark up to? He's the one who's picked up the Aegis. Getting rid of that Midas, deciding this 5-second BKB. He did die in that last fight, and also he doesn't have buyback for sometimes. 4.5 minutes. Whoa, hello Naga. Second time in this game. Them illusions hunting down this poor Skyreth mage. Oh man. Gotta use that smoke, man. Just smoke away from them. I don't know. It's probably better you die than waste a smoke. This late in the game, you're running kind of low on smokes, I imagine. Got that one there, and probably not too much more. Where's my shop? There we go. Okay, one more. So they've got a couple smokes, but saving your life as a 5-position support who doesn't really need to offer your team too much right now is not the biggest deal. You still want your Skyreth alive in a fight. An Ancient Seal on Queen of Pain is going to be a potential game breaker. No BKB, no Manta, no way of getting rid of it on the Queen of Pain side. Could see like a defusal from a teammate. That'd be a big play here. Oh, Fixes in trouble. Needs to just ensnare and run. There we go. Snare comes out. May need to use that song as well. There we go. 5-second BKB. Not going to cut it. He'll TP himself home. The butterfly helping out. And that's where Slark... have an MKB. Maybe that is a kill. During the BKB, you just need the Abyssal Bash lockdown with an MKB for the True Strike. Well, Manta Star now complete for your Medusa, and we'll see what the next move is going to be. There's no real big items I feel this Radiant team are waiting for anymore. Lion's got all he's ever going to get. Tied with the Refresher is pretty much peak. Sand King, I mean, there's a few like little value late game items like Vlad's maybe you can consider. Oh, by the way, love it. Easy Dark Pack. Goes into the Shadow Dance as well. Doesn't have detection for this. Actually, Sand King comes out himself. Not the best idea. Should have just maybe stayed invis till it was safe, but Forever going chasing low on mana here. Gets Burrow Strike. This time he's not going to Dark Pack it off. The Hex is there. Going to see a nice silence on the Queen of Pain, but he's still a dead Slark. That's just the Aegis for now. They're going to look to back off out of this. Use a Refresher on your Tide if they want to pop that and go for a fight here. And they try and take this fight. Forever, he's really repelled up, and the BKB being used. I think even BKB while he was repelled. Not sure about that one. Naga's ratting though. Naga's going for the top lane. That's with the DD rune. They've got to get back. They've got to defend. Naga pops the illusions as well. Still has the DD rune. Bottom lane, Slark gets himself a double kill. Tidehunter. I think he didn't actually get the Ravage off. He popped the Refresh, but he didn't actually Ravage. Mid lane, meanwhile, Naga still doing Naga things. Buyback's now going to start rolling out. They want to get this kill on the Omni Knight to help out the split push here. Going to be a GA, but it's immediately purged off. Manta Style comes out as well, possibly mid and top rack. It's a good old-fashioned base race. Buyback from your Omni Knight right off the bat. Meanwhile, bottom lane, it's going to be a T3 tower being poked out, and Buyback still available on the Radiant side. Song being used by Naga will TP home to fight. Got 2 melee Raxes out of this one. Ravage was used on Medusa as well as Slark. Lion in a bit of trouble here. Trying to juke and jive. Can't get out of that one. Queen of Pain shows up, has a Hex. Wants to make sure it doesn't get Dark Packed off. That's going to be the big thing to make sure of here. Tide. Can he stay alive? Where's that Dark Pack? Queen of Pain shows up, still holding on to that Hex. Can't use it just yet as the BKB on 4 of, and that's 4 dead. Naga's going to have to buy back, it looks like. Queen of Pain, Sonic Wave up soon, and this could be a dead Medusa as a result. Do you go in? Doesn't look like it. Decides to play things safe and not chase. Oh no. Away. Brought down, and that is without a buyback. Naga can buy back, but that is disaster. Queen of Pain could have just gone in, killed the Medusa, and maybe died. Instead, just sits around, wastes a Slark to go on him, and Naga. Now is not the time to be holding this buyback. Now is the time to be defending your throne. He has it. He's got to use it. What's this pause about? Didn't know Eternal Envy was in this game. This is... this is not the time for strategizing. Apologizing. Well, let's go. I'll hit the unpause button for you guys if I could. Oh boy. Forever gonna keep working away. There's your Naga buyback. About time. Blink, Burrow Strike. No Dark Pack. Doesn't actually have much mana here. Forever needs some rejuvenation. The snare will come out. The Dark Pact is available, but actually gets purged off, and Forever is going down. Burrow Strike gonna go through onto the Omni Knight as well, and Slark. Buyback? Okay, cooldown for 15 seconds. I was like, what? He doesn't have buyback? He's got all this money saved up. He better have buyback. Picks up the Demon Edge. Okay, so he will be going for that MKB. Can buy the MKB and still have buyback. That is incredible. Well, things getting very heated here. That's just one lane of racks end of the day, even if it is an exposed throne. Naga got 2 melee raxes. Still feels like a slight edge going the MVP Hot6 way. The gold, I mean, at this point, it's not about these graphs. These graphs throw the stats out the door right now. This is about the Dota 2 in front of us and the strategy involved. Becoming more a game of chess rather than a well, game of strategy, not so much a game of how many pieces are left on the board. I find a courier. Which was looking to buy something for this Medusa. 9k gold. Not sure if, I don't feel like we're at Divine Rapier territory. Probably just an MKB as far as right-clicking against the evasion goes, but you never know. Queen of Pain. Buyback on cooldown. Buyback was on cooldown. Sorry about that. So last fight, when Queen of Pain died, there was no buyback. Buyback was on cooldown, not just a money thing. That Queen of Pain dying there was very costly. To the high ground we go. What's the setup going to be? Naga Illusion. Ravage gonna get BKB'd off just in time. The Hex wore off. Now your Black Hole, it's TPing in. Sand King gonna cancel his TP. Sand King gonna, well, it looks like Tide's gonna be left to die, and probably with good reason. They did use a GA as well. Stone Gaze, a couple big ultimates used. Well, not just a couple, every big ultimate used. Stone Gaze, Black Hole, Guardian Angel, all the big ultis on cooldown now, so. For Tide, that's so-so. They're gonna be able to defend, I believe. MKB, there we go, picked up by your Medusa. Boots will travel for Enigma. They may go look to push and fight. That Enigma Black Hole, by the way, sank through a lot of damage with this Ag Scepter, applying the Midnight Pulse, regardless of whether he uses it or not. Next item almost certainly going to be a Refresher Orb. As they handle some of these Naga Illusions. Did lose a range Rax up top. Mid-range Rax taking a bit of damage, and to mid lane we go. 35 seconds on your Tide. Just to delay things here. Lying on the back line. It's a bit of a peculiar position to him. They're pushing down bottom lane, possibly saying, look, if we can get mega creeps and then defend our base, Naga can stall. Problem is, you need Naga to be the one also split pushing right now. Naga's, you need to get these illusions behind. You need to try and deal with these creep waves before they reach you. 10 seconds on Tide. Has one Ravage already with a Refresher, but wants to wait for the double Ravage. Doesn't want to have to pop that Refresher cooldown and have one Ravage for this fight. Sarko's pouncing forward. They're going for the throne. He's going to have to refresh this. There we go. Pops the Refresher immediately. Looks like they're just going to throw that. They're going to go in on the Medusa. Medusa pops the Flutter. You got no evasion now. BKB. No Black Hole from Baton. Just drops the Midnight Pulse. They're not going to focus the throne right off the bat. Tidehunter. Dead. Fixes maybe next in line. Has got the Song of the Siren. Who's going to be the target here? Enigma goes down. The Queen of Pain doing a lot of good damage here. Needs to get out. No blink available for a few seconds. Buyback still on cooldown. Fix is dead as well. There's no buyback for your Naga. Great epicenter, but it's come too late, it feels like. Lobby. Can he bring down this Medusa? Medusa just right-clicking the throne. Burrow Strike up in one, but the Slark buyback is going to be GG. They're going to get the throne. MVP Hot6. They've done it. They're going to take the game. The offensive GG comes out half a second before the throne goes down with good reason. MVP Hot6. Incredible comeback from the Korean squad. They take out First Departure 2-1. What a game to end on. What a series. What a day of matches here at the Summit 3 SCA preliminaries. Oh boy. Oh boy. It's been a lot of fun. It's been some thrilling matches, guys, I gotta say. A big thanks for tuning in to our opening day broadcast. There's Europe action going on. Opening day broadcast of the Summit 3 still rages on. Check out Beyond the Summit 2 right now. I'll host that channel when I'm done. I'm going to end things here. It's been a nice, fun day. A good 7-8 hours, even just for 2 BO3s. It's been some great Dota. Big shout out to WinteR for joining me for most of today, apart from that last game. I'll be back tomorrow with more SCA Dota. Tomorrow we're going to have the bottom 2 matches, which is going to be Natit Gaming. WinteR's going to be playing in that match against Signature Trust, or Myth Trust, as they're formerly known, followed by a Pinoy Dota showdown, Arcanus versus Execration. I'm GoDz from Beyond the Summit. If you want to follow me, support me, check out my Twitter, @BTSGods. Check out WinteR's @WinteRDota, and be sure to click that follow button under the stream to follow Beyond the Summit. Know when we go live and all that good jazz. But for now, guys, we're done. See you guys tomorrow.